Magic the Gathering has a stack, spells resolving like a spell book being carefully read. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a chain, each link rattling as they resolve. Wixoss has a bucket. In Wixoss, you might end up with multiple triggers on cards that go off at the same time. Sometimes you and your opponent each might have a trigger. Who can resolve their trigger first? Can you stack the triggers in any order? The Wixoss Bucket can answer all your questions. It's simple. Anytime there's a trigger on the effect, throw them all in the bucket. The active player gets to take any effect out of the bucket they own and play it, in any order. After that, the non-active player gets to do this. The player whose turn it is always gets priority to resolve the effects because they are the active player. Let's see an example at play. Let's say you have a Phalaris, a Dragon Maid, and a Tasmanian out. The opponent has 3 Jasper Natural Crystal out. They have 10 cards left in their deck and you have 8 enter. You play DJ Love It Mix, paying 3 enter. This has 2 enter the play effects. One which gives target Signy, Lancer, and another Signy, Assassin. The other vanishes a Signy, power 8,000 or less. You toss both into the bucket and can resolve it in any order that you want. You decide to vanish one of the Jaspers first, so you pull that trigger out of the bucket. It has an on-a-vanish effect, but you are the active player, so that goes into the bucket for later. You pull out the next effect and give Phalaris Lancer and Tasmanian Assassin. You don't have any more effects, so the non-active player pulls their effect out of the bucket and burns you 1 enter. You are now down to 4 enter. You moved into the attack step, and there's no triggers for you. Your opponent also decides not to play any attack timing cards, so you're up to bat. You swing in with your Phalaris, vanishing a Jasper. Remember, that Phalaris had Lancer, which is an effect that crushes a life cloth if it vanishes a Signy, and it mills your opponent for 10 if it vanishes a Signy. So you have 2 triggers again. Both go into the bucket, along with Jasper's effect. You are the active player, so you resolve the mill first, which will refresh your opponent, causing Dragon Maid to trigger. You put that one into the bucket as well now, so you can decide which one you want to pull out. You're going to pull out the Dragon Maid effect and pay the enter, leaving you with 2 enter left. You vanish the last Jasper, and so that effect then goes into the bucket. Finally, you resolve your Lancer, and you crush a life cloth and hit a life burst. This time, it's Morax. Into the bucket it goes. It's time for the non-active player to resolve all of their effects in the bucket. They decide to use both of the Jasper effects, burning both enter you had left. You are now unable to pay for Morax's effects, and your Dragon Maid is now vanished. The bucket is empty again, and you can move forward with the game. The Wixoss Bucket is easy. Anytime you have a trigger, make sure to finish the effect that's currently being done, and then throw that effect into the bucket. Then pull them out in active player in any order, followed by non-active player in any order.